Yeah, welcome to this Eon Reality Energy presentation. We have been around for 25 years and we focus on contextual AI knowledge transfer to education and training. Registered to launch on NASDAQ later this year. We have 6 products that help you, 6 SaaS-based products that help you create, learn, train, perform, collaborate, and earn with code-free XR and AI. We have a large library of 3D assets, but as an enterprise, you can also upload your own proprietary CAD and 3D assets. We have done large deployments around the world, especially in education, including career technical education, vocational education that's close to kind of enterprise training. There's a marketplace if you want to create and share and monetize. This is an option. We have a spatial AI program that also connects industry with students and workers who have experience in this area. Now, the reason you should really think about this is that both augmented reality, virtual reality can bring a lot of benefits. And this is a case study from a compressor manufacturer. So this is their data. They looked at service technicians on the left here, and they estimated they can train them up to 12 times faster, cost savings of up to 92%. The use case was a shank adapter change, and it's a huge numbers, but if you think about it, there's a lot of overhead in training. Maybe you have physical training facilities, equipment, tools, products, travel, instructors. With AR, you could bring this directly to the field and have a tremendous amount of cost savings. Similarly, on the right for operator training, for this use case was an oil rig operator using a simulator, you could have up to 63% cost savings. Eon has a tremendous experience in enterprise. We have especially up to 2019 worked a tremendous amount with use cases in not only energy, as you see here, but also other areas like aerospace, manufacturing, medical, defense, etc. The value for the student is really around learning and training faster, being more confident, create better emotional connections, and more focus. And there's lots of studies out there, but I'll play a little summary here from Price Waterhouse.
We have conducted a study on virtual reality learning. We found learners in VR required less time to learn. They had higher emotional connection to the content, higher confidence, and were less distracted during the training.
Okay, so there's a lot more data here that we're happy to share, but let's move forward here. So right now, if you look at AI specifically, some of the problems is that as you get most of the feedback in text or voice, it's not connected to the physical world. And that's really one of the main parts of Eon's solution is that we remove this optical, take the genie out of the bottle, you could say. We do this with your AI-based avatar companion that you can interact with in real time, and you'll see some good examples here shortly. There's also, in terms of content development, what used to be 43 different steps to create the basic XR experience is now handled by the avatar. And then we, as the subject matter expert, can go back and edit that, of course, and adjust it to exactly what we want. There's 2 modalities, main modalities to use AI Assistant. One is show and tell in a virtual world. So this can be, for instance, training for new employees or for new procedures. And then there's guide and assist in the real world. So here we use spatial anchors to connect information in the real world and provide the training right then and there in the physical environment. We have developed what we call a cognitive AI architecture. So it includes the spatial AR that I mentioned, the persistent tracking, Things like AI image recognition. So if you come up to a piece of machinery, you don't know what it is, you can take a picture and get feedback. LiDAR scanning for digital twin development, multi-user for team training, team procedures. And then we have this approach of being agnostic. So we support all kinds of devices, maybe most importantly, phones, tablets, PCs, Macs, but also your high-end VR and AR devices if you have them. 95% of our users access the content on a phone or a tablet. We have 6 different products that help us do this. And the first one was Xeon XR. This is code-free development and deployment. We added then digital twin, where you can annotate the real world, as you see in this picture here. We added spatial meetings for team training, team interactions. Metaverse Builder to create more complex worlds, complex experiences with multiple objects, environments, etc. Interact to create more advanced interactions, maybe like advanced motions, fire, explosions for safety training. And then most recently, the Xeon AI Assistant for conversational learning that we talked about. So why should you think about this now? The advancement of AI technology has only recently become available. Xeon started this journey about 5 years back, working with IBM, with the vision to take, for instance, an instruction manual for an engine, feed it into an AI, and be able to speed up the development process. And this is really what's become available and feasible now. So we can quickly bring either the virtual or physical world to life. The use cases, as we'll talk about here in a second, will provide cost savings, increase efficiency, but also things like improved safety and better customer experience, etc. We have, as I mentioned before, large deployment experience, and this technology is ready today to be rolled out at scale. Now let's drill down specifically on energy. These are a summary of the main use cases as we see. There are other ones outside these, of course, but oil and gas is a big one. Chemicals, close relative, but also a big use case. Renewable energy, as we know, wind, solar, hydroelectric will grow, but so will also nuclear. In our electrified world, it's going to play a role there, and it's definitely a big use case moving forward. And the last one, energy storage. Now, if you drill down and look at, what are some potential applications here, and again, this is not meant to be exhaustive, but to give you some guidance. Safety training is front and center in energy. Operator training. This can be individual operator training, but also team training. Maybe we have an operator and you have a team of field technicians, so you can train the whole team. MRO, or maintenance, repair, and assistance. Remote collaboration, either in terms of repair, maintenance procedures, or product development for that matter. Hazard identification, remote equipment troubleshooting, training for energy efficiency. And there are many more, but this gives you an idea on some of the main applications. Let's take a look. So this is a basic introduction to a 3-phase separator. And I will start the video here. So here we have, I turned off the sound here, but here we have the AI assistant. And I'm asking some questions here. You see the text feedback. We can go through kind of the basics. This uses public domain information. You can also feed your AI or train your AI with your own database. So that's another option. So here we're asking about the maintenance procedure. She's thinking about it here, and we'll see the feedback here shortly. So check the oil level, inspect the oil level gauge. I'm going to fast forward a little bit, as there's a lot of different steps here, and we have limited time. As we'll see here, going forward, we can also move in the space. So here I moved up towards the upper decks of the 3-phase separator. And we'll see in a second here that the AI assistant, here we go, created what we call a knowledge portal. And I can, of course, go back and edit this, but it's basically a media presentation with images, videos, documents, outlining the functions of a three-phase separator. We can also include safety training. So here we're bringing in some information on fire safety training for oil and gas. You can also add your own knowledge portals. So here I added one, and just like we saw before, we can have videos, text, but we can also upload our own specific documents. So here I uploaded for this specific separator the PNID, process identification diagram, for this specific separator, which is central for training for something like this. Here we can also point out different main components of the system and talk about it and record it. And then we can see the feedback here from the 3D avatar or subject matter expert going through. We can also add assessment, quizzes, different things. One neat thing that we get as an output is an AI report. So this will be part of the learning experience, and it includes all the interactions that was done to create this experience, lesson plan, the PNID, the different questions that were asked, and we can, of course, go back and edit this if needed as well. Let's take a look at a few more use cases. So here is a wind turbine use case.
Wind turbine manufacturer. The turbine is designed to generate electricity from the wind and is used in both onshore and offshore wind farms. The turbine has a rated capacity of up to 5.x MW and can generate up to 15,000 MWh of electricity per year. The turbine is equipped with a direct drive system, which eliminates the need for a gearbox, resulting in a more reliable, efficient turbine. The turbine also has a low noise.
So there you saw a good example of show and tell, where the student interacts real time with the AI assistant to get information and feedback. Fast forward here a little bit, we see the knowledge portals, as we saw with the separator example. Here we also see annotations, so different main parts of the wind turbine. And again, you can also create quizzes, assessments, etc. as you go. Okay, let's do one more example from nuclear.
Hello, my name is Coral. I put together this lesson in Eon XR to explain the process of how a nuclear power plant generates electricity. I'm a huge nuclear energy nerd, and I find it fascinating. So I hope this lesson helps my fellow nuclear energy nerds to learn more about the process and how exactly the energy transfers from a bunch of uranium rods to powering your phone. Most lessons I've found on nuclear energy highlight the dangers of radiation and go into horror stories, so I'm hoping this lesson helps to uncomplicate the process for new learners. I've never seen the inside of a...
So here, as you saw, we're seeing the experience on desktop. If I fast forward here a little bit, we can see we can quickly go to augmented reality, and we can see the scaled down version, or you can scale it up to one-to-one scale that we saw in the separator example just a few minutes ago. So those are some brief examples. There is a lot more opportunity, and happy to share the presentation so you can dig in a little bit more. But let me talk a little bit about the business model. So E.ON has academic and enterprise pricing, and on the enterprise side, it's $124 per user a month for trainees and $190 for trainers. Beyond that, we have a number of different packages, from pilot to corporate-wide implementation. And just recently, we have launched what's called the Enterprise Skills Program. And this gives availability for initial use case for 10 or 30 users, with the cost going down to $45 per user a month. So please reach out to E.ON, and we'd be happy to look at your needs, whether you want to start small and scale over time, or go big right away. And the next step, if you're interested, would be to set up a deep dive with one of our experts and really show the platform and the process and how you can develop content. With that, I'd like to thank you very much and wish you a good rest of your day. Thank you.